Om. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahita Prajnanaganaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Naghendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavat Padabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane. Om. There are two types of ignorant people. One who do not know anything about the Upanishad. So, which means there is no even apata jnana. And in case of such people, the Brahma Jigyasa is also not expected. Because even one to have a desire to know, there should be some knowledge. But that knowledge is a very superficial knowledge. Even if a person somewhere in life has heard even once that your true nature is Purna, is complete, you are already fulfilled, which means there is no problem at all. Because every problem ultimately boils down to your understanding that I am unfulfilled, I am incomplete, I lack something. Therefore, he who has never heard, so a person who even thinks that if I lose my job or if there is going to be loss of money, I will be the very even the possibility that I could have ever become fulfilled is also lost, and therefore that person values and becomes values in that misery and becomes even more insecure. What if I am not able to get the person that I like? that creates an insecurity, this sense of unfulfillment, and also the prevailing sense of future unfulfillment now unsettles a person. And therefore, the problem is not in getting something, not getting something, losing something, or may lose something. The true problem is the problem of the sense of incompleteness, unfulfillment. This sense of unfulfillment may arise in our life, masquerading as situations. What if I lose money? What if I lose the people that I love? What if I lose the prestige that I enjoy? What if I lose the position that I'm having? What if I'm not able to get the position, the prestige, the person that I want? And therefore, it unsettles a person with the idea that there wouldn't be fulfillment even in future. Presently, I am unfulfilled. I have a sense of lack. I find myself incomplete. And this is also going to continue in the future. And that itself is misery. When you are asking what is misery, what is dukkham, do not say losing a person, losing a job, losing money, losing health is dukkham. These are excuses for your dukkham. Dukkham really means the sense of parichinnata, the sense of limited existence, incompleteness. And therefore, he who has never even heard the most benedictory sentence of the entire human existence, and that is Tattvamasi, that you are already Purnavastu. He who has never even heard, he will never even be curious to know, how am I Purnam, in spite of all these problems and the limitations that are all around me. And therefore, in case of such a person, there is no possibility of even Brahmajnasa. If you are going to ask me what is the most golden moment of a human being's life, I would say that moment is when he has first heard Atma is Brahman. These golden words, which are Amrita, have fallen into your ears, and you may not dwell on it, you may not even at this moment give any much attention to it, but this knowledge is going to stay somewhere. The Upanishad said Atma is Brahman, I am Purnavastu. I am already fulfilled, and if I am already fulfilled, there is no problem. And when there is no problem, there is no possibility of any future problem also. Therefore, I lack nothing. I am in myself sufficient, adequate. Nothing is required, nothing is wanted. When nothing is wanted, it means there is no desire. And therefore, in life of a jnani, the desires have kissed him goodbye. They have already gone. The calm and that has already gone. Do you don't remember that incident of Bhagavan Shiva burning down Kamadeva? If you don't know, listen to this. Kamadeva is the god of lust. Kama means lust, it means desire. Now it encompasses the whole human existence. One drive, the drive of sex, the desire for sex, is what is most intense desire. Whether these are animals, birds, or human beings, is extremely intense, and it does shape our emotions, responses, behavior, everything. And do not even think that passing of the age is a cure to this problem. So Bhagavan Shiva is sitting absorbed in samadhi, and there comes this god of lust, Kamadeva, Manmatha, and shoots his arrow at Shankar Bhagavan. And Shiva is disturbed for a moment. Bhagavan Shiva emerges out of that samadhi and looks in directions as what is it that has disturbed me? What is it that has projected me out? And he discovers it is Kama. And it is said in the Shiva Purana that Bhagavan Shankar opened his third eye. And with his third eye, when he looked at Kamadeva, Kamadeva burned down into ashes. What is this third eye? And what is it that means by looking at this lust, looking at desire with the third eye? This third eye is the eye of knowledge. And therefore, when the knowledge takes place, truly takes place, the desires are bound to say goodbye forever. Jnani is this. And therefore, according to me, the most blessed moment of life is this, when you have heard Tattvamasi. Even in a sweeping manner, if one has heard Atma is Brahman, that is good enough. It will stay somewhere. And when the Punya Udaya will take place, this knowledge will surface back. It will then, the words of the teacher, the words of this Upanishad will ring into your ears again. I have heard Atma is Brahman. I have heard that Atma is, I am already Purnam. How is it possible? Now will begin your inquiry. And if you really have the Punya Bala, then this inquiry will not just remain a small little fire, but it will become a conflagration. It will consume your being. The person will not be able to stay satisfied just with small little things, somebody bringing you ice cream and a cake, somebody just offering you praise how beautiful you are and your smile is so beautiful. These things are not going to keep you bound. Therefore, these small little things, little ego gratification or the gratification of the senses is no longer going to be your cup of tea. You're simply just going to ignore it. But for this to consume your being, one does require immense punyam. And therefore, Bhagavan Shankaracharya does say that in the beginning of books like Viveka Chudamani, that it does come through the punya of innumerable births. for this knowledge now, which is even superficial, apata jnanam, to really become a force to drive you into, to give yourself completely to Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, it takes immense punyam. Therefore, it is not that a teacher needs to convince you. It is not that somebody has to convince you that do Vedanta Shravanam. If you do not have that punya, how would you be able to enter even the portals of Vedanta? Rama duare tuma rakhware. Remember this. In the darbar of Bhagwan Ram, you can gain an entry into this royal court and present yourself in front of Ram only when Hanumanji allows you inside. It means that he is really going to look at you and say, are you really presentable? Because Bhagavan is sitting on the court, the emperor, the king. Will you be able to really behave yourself in front of the king or not? Rama duare tum rakhware. Hota na agya binu paisare. Goswami Tulsidas Ji has just encapsulated and captured the spirit in these two lines. You will require immense punyam. A person requires, but even the punya which has allowed you to have access to this apata jnana, even the superficial knowledge, be thankful, strive hard, live a life of dharma. So there are these two types of ignorant people. One who do not even receive this opportunity of listening to this ever in life. They are just born, they procreate, struggle to survive, and one day just become ash, go back to the earth. Their coming and going, Nachiketa says, is like the grass which grows in the rainy season. Who keeps account of the grass that grows? How many blades of grass are grown in this rainy season? And how they just grow and they just dry after the rain goes away. Like that, innumerable number of people come into this world and they go. But with every person that is born, there is a possibility that maybe he will know the truth, the reality, and will become liberated. Because he is born with an equipment, the body, mind, intellect, an equipment which is conducive, in which the knowledge can take place. Though this is the human body, human life, human mind, human intellect, where the knowledge can take place, yet that a person may be very intelligent. He may be even able to manipulate the entire economy of a country. He may be even able to manipulate the stock exchange of all the world, shake it up. He may be that intelligent, yet this intelligence does not have the punya bala, which may allow him to even know, listen to this at least once in life. Atma is Purnam. Therefore, according to me, सबकी न कहे तुलसी के मते इतनो जग जीवन को फल है. Goswami Ji says that I do not talk for others. Sabaki na kahe. I do not talk for others. Tulasi ke mate. According to Tulasi, if you are going to ask me that itano jagajeevana ko phala hai. If you are born, then your birth truly has become fruitful only if one is able to see Paramatma. If one is able to know this Atma is Brahman. Because Binu dekhe Raghuveer pada jiya ki charani na jaye. Do whatever you want to. Go and enjoy even the heavenly pleasures. Strive for as much ego gratification that you want, or even the sense gratification that you want. Yet, the heart which is set on fire, that fire will not be quelled unless and until Binu dekhe Raghuveer pada, without seeing the holy feet of the Lord. Therefore, if you are going to ask Abhishek Chaitanya, he will say that the blessed moment of life is when you first heard Atma is Brahman. Now, there is one ignorant person who has never heard and therefore he simply is born. He may do something in this world, struggle, and finally even say goodbye, and will say goodbye. There is yet another one who has heard and puts in a little effort, maybe an effort like, waking up little early and joining the Vedanta class. Some people may do it even reluctantly. Some may be doing it thinking that since my friend is doing, might as well let me also do, otherwise I will not be called spiritual. Yet he comes and sits. You have this. This is one type of ignorant person. The other one is that he has apata jnanam, yet he does not have the direct knowledge which we call as the experience. And therefore he strives hard for it and strives sincerely for it. This is the second type. And there is a jnani who now has known the reality and therefore he is fulfilled in himself. He does not have any desire, a longing that consumes his heart, a longing which nags him day and night. He is Purnakam, means he discovers that all the desires are fulfilled. Nothing is required. Only such a person is a blessing to this world. The rest of us are just trying to squeeze something from this world. He is the only one who can really, truly give something to the world. The rest of us are just struggling to get something from the world. The ignorant is a beggar. The jnani is the only giver. Some of them are beggars begging. Someone is begging for attention. Someone is begging for pleasure. Someone is begging for a position. Someone is begging for power. Someone is begging for health. Someone is begging for progeny. These are all beggars. The one who is a giver, a master, is only jnani. Therefore, according to the Upanishads, the jnani is the epitome of human existence. Is the pinnacle. He is the North Star. He is the lighthouse. It is only this lighthouse that can show you the direction in the stormy nights of your life. Fix your gaze on the jnani. If you are lucky enough, fortunate enough, there will be some shraddha in the Shastra. There will be some shraddha in the Brahmacharya. And if you are not able to have shraddha in some person who is still in body and living, have shraddha in someone whom the Shastras also recognize as a Brahmacharya. Be it Shukadeva, Bhagavan Vyasa, Bhagavan Bhashyakar, Vidyaranya Swami, anyone. Have that shraddha. And if you have to ask for something, fall at their feet and say, may your kind, compassionate gaze always keep me on this path. So there is this ignorant person. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says that there are these two nights. For the ignorant, Atma is Brahman is a concept like a dream. And for a jnani, you considering yourself as this karta bhokta is a dream. To consider this Atma as the doer, as the experiencer, is an error, a dream, a concept, not reality. The reality is Atma is Brahman. And therefore, the ignorant does not know the reality. And the ignorant therefore thinks that me being the experiencer, the self being the experiencer, the self being the doer is this reality. Whereas for the jnani, that what you call as reality, that what the ignorant calls as reality, is a joke. Then the people come up with their problems. I have this problem and that problem, my wife and my children and my husband and my in-laws and my job and my business and my money and my prestige and my all these things. For the jnani, this is a laughing stock because this is a dream for a jnani. And do you then don't see that what the jnani calls as reality for the ignorant, it is a concept, a dream. And that what you call as reality, the jnani laughs at it, calling it a concept. Therefore, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says that there are two types of sleeps. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyami. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. For pashyato mune. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato mune. Pashyato means the one who's seeing. He is not only a muni, but this muni is now he is the one who sees. Bhagavan Shri Krishna elsewhere has used a very interesting phrase, and he says, Yah pashyati sa pashyati. He who sees, he alone sees. Pashyati, he is a muni. The basic requirement is him being a muni. Many years back, I don't know, maybe somewhere, I was talking and this word came up, muni. And I said, this is a nice name if somebody wants to name their child, Muni. And someone in Brazil heard this and they had a baby boy and they named him Muni. Muni. Pashyato Muni. The one who is deeply contemplative. The one whose disposition is that of contemplation, whose disposition is meditative. Such a Muni now sees. And we must know what is the purpose of Mananam, because of which the person is called as Muni. Mananashila. He doesn't have to be induced, coaxed. To him, it comes naturally. Just as naturally as most of us keep thinking about the Vishayas. To him, Mananam comes naturally, and that's why it is his Sheela. It is his nature. And that is why such a person is called as Muni. He doesn't have to be told. He doesn't require any excuse. For him, Mananam is natural. And Mananam means a cognitive process that is employed to resolve the doubts. A doubt which comes in form of asambhavana. The moment you hear that Atma is Brahman, don't find that there is a resistance? How can Atma be Brahman? How can I be Brahman? I can be a man, I can be a woman, I can be good, I can be bad. I can be punyavan, I can be papi, I can be beautiful, I can be ugly, I can be responsible, I can be irresponsible, I can be serious, I can be frivolous. But how can I be Brahman? And therefore, there is an immediate resistance in form of saying it is impossible. This feeling of impossibility, asambhavana, is because you are not able to see something clearly, understand something clearly. If you understand something clearly, then the asambhavana will not remain. Some person who has never understood what is electricity and how electricity functions, if he is told that we push something in the wall and the fan starts revolving and it gives breeze, we are able to create breeze. He says, impossible. The breeze comes when the wind flows. How can you have breeze in your room without the wind outside? If there is wind flowing outside your house and your windows are open, then it may enter as soft breeze, make you feel relieved. It may give you a little relief from the heat, breeze. But how can you create breeze in your room? Just by pushing something in the wall, because he does not understand. So he sees it is impossible and he expresses this asambhavana that it is impossible. But now you know that with electricity this is possible. We not only can create breeze, we can create heat, we can create cold, we can create sound, we can create pictures. What is it that this electricity cannot do? That is only because now you can rubbish that impossibility because you know that it is possible with electricity. And therefore, impossibility over here, that how can Atma be Brahman, is simply because you do not really know. It is a form of a doubt. And when you are able to bring clarity to the understanding, even this impossibility will be resolved. To resolve this impossibility, we have the cognitive process called as mananam. This is mananam. How can it be? How is Atma Brahman? This question is an objection. And if it just remains an objection, and if you are going to say Atma is not Brahman, you don't require to put in efforts, because as it is, even in the state of ignorance, you still are saying Atma is not Brahman. To prove Atma is not Brahman, you don't require anything great. Just continue. Don't even look at the Shastra. Then there are Pandits who will take to the Shastra and then conclude Atma is not Brahman. So what is the point? Why do you need Shastra to tell this? You as it is are believing Atma is not Brahman. Why do you need Shastra? Therefore, now he is a Muni, Mananashilaha, the one who is Udyukta, For him, this is not an objection. For him, it is a question to be answered. How is Atma Brahman? How can Atma be Brahman? So this, because of his mananam, now he is able to see, and that's why Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Pashyato Mune. Now this, for this Muni, Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani, where these bhutas means all the beings, that what all the beings consider as reality, that what all the beings consider as reality and are indulged over there, are awake to that. For the Muni, it is only a dream. Sa Nisha, it is the night for him. It is the sleep for him. To him, it is not. Therefore, those who are stuck upon this, that Atma is Brahman is a concept, they are fools denying themselves the highest benediction of life. The highest benediction of life is not that you get an opportunity to procreate, survive, and just push forth the line of lineage of your genes that even animals get. The highest benediction of life is this, where you have the opportunity to know, you can know, utilize every moment of it well. Because it is from the slumber, from the sleep of ignorance, from this darkness of ignorance, you can arrive in the broad daylight and discover this completeness, Purnatvam. Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehe. This is what the Muni sees, and this is what the ignorant sees. Therefore, the journey is from darkness to the light, from asat to the sat, from that what is false, unreal, to that what is real. The journey is from mrityu to amritam. Enough for this morning. We will see the next shloka tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmiti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha.